This is a new WPL. This is a Hilux. We will unbox it on the back of my Hilux. But before we look at that, I just want to talk about what is cheap. And if some of you are wondering where the big, not cheap 10x10 is, the chassis is over here. And I'm just getting in a right mess trying to put the hydraulics in the artillery guns. It's not going very well. We'll get onto that hopefully very soon in a completion video. And that is definitely not in the cheap category. Quite recently, I did a video on this new RGT, a short wheelbase Land Cruiser style. It's pretty much a Land Cruiser, just not licensed. Short wheelbase Land Cruiser. And the title of the video is, when did cheap RC trucks get so good? And I got a lot of comments saying, that is not cheap. So just to try and explain it a little bit more, I know a lot of people understand what I was talking about, but this is a trail truck or a crawler or whatever you want to call it. And I've got a selection here, and I've actually put them in order from most expensive to the cheapest. Now I'm going to talk in UK prices, and I will put dollars on the screen. And you need to understand as well that prices are different everywhere. These are UK prices. Traxxas, for instance, can be quite a bit cheaper in the US, but for us in the UK, it's not that cheap. So UK prices with the equivalent dollar price. My dollar price will not be the same as what you'll pay in the US. I'm just converting the UK price to dollars. Anyway, I paid for this £255 delivered to my door, including all tax and postage and everything. That was £255. This High Trail Traxxas in the UK is £569. Now, you don't need to be that good at maths to understand that's double the price of that, or more than double in fact. This RC four-wheel drive C2X is £561. The new Vanquish Trail Buggy, that is £400. Although you can't really get it, I don't think you can get it in the UK, but if you go onto the Vanquish website, it comes up as £400. Now this is the FTX Centaur. I put this in the category of like a budget crawler, but it's still 300 and something pound. So still quite a bit more expensive than this. And I've chosen these four as the example, but I've not just picked them out on purpose to make this look cheaper. We could compare it to this, to this, to this, this. Probably about the same price as that. We could compare it to any of them and it's still cheaper. So sometimes cheap isn't just the actual price, it's compared to other stuff. So that's why I said it was a cheap truck, because it is compared to quite a few others in the same category. Now, if you want really cheap, this is a new WPL. I don't know what C it is. It's a C chassis, I think. It's a Hilux body. And I haven't reviewed a WPL for a while. And it's not because I haven't got any. I've been a little bit disappointed in them in the last few. These were the last two that I reviewed. They done like a two-wheel drive one and like a four-wheel drive one. Wasn't very impressed. They just didn't drive very well. And then this one, I had this, but I didn't even bother with it. This is their 1/10 Suzuki Jimny. I had this. This one was actually the first one into the UK, I think, signed by the WPL boss. But I watched other people's reviews and it just wasn't very good. They switched over to a new gearbox and motor, and I just don't think they perform like their old ones. Apparently though, this one, they've changed some stuff on it and it performs better. I will be the judge of that. Still using the same transmitter they've used for ages. They just made slight revisions on it over the years, but you've got a steering trim there. And you can do your steering rate and throttle rate, so you get more steering angle and more throttle apparently. Nothing wrong with them, they're just an old design and they work. Well, at least it's protected this time. Those ones, when they turned up, I think both of them were like bits hanging off. This is a decent sturdy box, so much so that I can't undo it. Wow, that's really high. Still got the old bouncy suspension, no oil shocks on there. They are a new style shock, but adjustable. Yeah, 500 milliamp hour battery. Go and put that on charge. So we got a load of accessories and stuff in here. Lights, snorkel, wipers, and some stickers. Oh, and doubled up on everything by the looks of it. Right, I'll get this trim on and then we'll have a closer look at the truck. While I'm putting all this trim on, there's a link in the description where you could win that RGT crawler. There's also the Audi Quattro S1 from Charisma, which is an awesome rally car. You could win that as well. Links to both of them in the description. If you're not interested in either of them, but you may be interested interested in something in the future, then you can follow my page. And if you do enter the competition, make sure you check your emails and make sure you check when the competition finishes, because the MT10 winner has still not come forward. So what I'll probably do is wait till the end of the month, and then there will be a free competition, free for everyone to enter, for an MT10. Oh, these are really fiddly to try and get in. So all the trim on, it's not a bad looking little truck. Probably a little bit high, probably look a bit better sat about there. I have adjusted the collars on the springs, but doesn't seem to go much lower. Not a bad looking truck. Battery sits in that tray there. As with all the WPLs, you've got a decent interior in there. Although to get to the interior, you have to take the whole body off and then unclip it all to get a little driver in. It gets quite frustrating with stuff when you have to take it all apart. Same with that took ages to get the interior out just to get a driver in. It was crazy. Chrome mirrors, moulded parts, moulded bumper. I think there's space behind there to put the WPL winch. They've got a servo on axle, got a metal steering link there. The rest are all plastic. 4-link suspension, all plastic. Plastic drive shafts, there's metal gears in there. Up in there is your, I think it's a 230 motor. I really don't like them. I much preferred it when they had their 180 motors with the little gearboxes. They were geared really well. They did a 370 motor in like a single speed, was good. We can get a 2-speed as well. I'm not keen on this whole setup. Still using the same hardware. It's not great. It's a cheap truck. Just as we're chatting, look, someone's come up there. Cheap? Seriously? So I bet that is that RGT video. Yeah, look, there it is. It's the same price as my Element bought in France. It's a big joke just to sell these tombola tickets. I vomit this kind of misleading content. What? An example, live, as we're doing this video, why people don't like me calling stuff cheap. Well, I don't know how more to explain it. You want cheap? I'll give you cheap. Here you go, this is cheap. Right, switch it on. I think you just have to do that. So we've got some front lights there. It is proportional steering, so that's nice and smooth actually. Not a great angle on there. Oh, actually, steering. Oh no, that was the highest angle. And then throttle, proportional again. Press throttle rate. I don't think that makes a difference. Oh, not bad. That seems a bit better. The low-down modulation was the issue that I had with the sort of latest WPLs. It's still a little bit noisy, but no, that seems a little bit better. Finally, you might have a combo that actually works. I forgot to mention the tyres. They're quite hard. You can get softer compound ones. These are like the RTR compound. The kit compound is a lot softer. So the biggest test for this is going to be that low down modulation, because that's where they failed in the past. But just checking this on the bench, it wasn't actually that bad. It's still not great, but remember this thing costs like, I don't know, $65, £50 I think. So here's the test then. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. You don't need to punch full throttle to get it to move. The problem with some of the last ones is you pretty much had to go full throttle to get it to actually move, whereas this, it's decent actually. Pardon? I've got a supervisor today. She's over there making sure I don't do anything silly and fall over. That bouncy suspension actually looks relatively scale. Obviously on the bench it looks a bit bouncy, but when it's going along, because the rig's quite light, it actually gives it quite a scale look. Oh, it just cut out then, I think. I don't know if it lost signal then. Tall grass is never easy to push through these little light rigs, but there you go. I think we can safely say this is an improvement from WPL. Oh look, it's cut out again, just as I was saying, it's improvement. I don't think it's cutting out because I'm putting it under too much load. It just every now and then, look, it stopped again. I wonder if it's a signal issue. I was just saying how much I think they've improved, and that's 3 times it's cut out now in the space of a couple of minutes. It gets going straight away, and then look, it stopped again. I come off the throttle, back on, and it goes. That is a bit weird. I mean, it certainly piles through the grass. It's just intermittent. So something that the RTRs haven't had in the past, or I don't think they have, is a drag brake. So now, like I'm off the throttle, just tap it, right, I'm off the throttle now. That's a nice drag brake. That is good. Should we go and see what the geese think of it? I don't think they like it. I wanted to play in this water. So it's definitely just intermittently cutting out. That cut out then on just flat ground. So look, and again. I've had this before, and I think it was the aerial position. It just kept losing signal briefly. Should be waterproof-ish, or water resistant. Not bad.